Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine. It's time to use up our July 2025 Noteworthy Days stickers. I had quite a bit left over from the virtual crop, and I also wanted to use up some of our sunburst scraps as well. So we do have a double page layout and a card this month. Let's check it out. I am going to work on the card first. I have grabbed one of my blank cards from our blank card kit, and we're going to be using a piece of the polka dot, large tan polka dot paper that has the brown grid on the back, if you will, for the front of our card. And let's get a little bit of regular and repo going around the outside of our card. I actually have been very happy with adding just that little bit of repositionable tape to the edges of my cards. It really does help to secure those edges. All right, now that we have our base started, I wanted to talk to y'all about this a minute. We are going to use up this scrap from earlier this year. I'm not exactly sure which layout I used it in. Maybe watch the compilation video to see where this one appeared earlier in the year. I'm pretty sure I used the 12-inch decorative trimmer for it, but we're going to use this scrap. I went ahead and cut it down to 5.5 inches because our card front is 4 1/4 by 5.5. I forgot to mention that's the size of our polka dot paper, and I really wanted to have this curved motion, I guess, on our card. So I went ahead and I cut one, and then I lined it up, and then I trimmed off the excess so that way these two would fit on my card. They're not going to be exactly symmetrical. It's actually going to be a little bit off, but I'm okay with that. I also found this light tan cog, I guess. We're going to use it as a, I don't know, kind of thought it resembled the sunshine a bit that we have in our stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and just place this all the way up here in the top corner as far as it'll go. So that's there. Then comes our little arcing brown piece here, our scrap. That's going to get another life here on our card. I guess this is the, again, artistic phase maybe that I'm going through, where I'm just adding some extra little interest to the edges of my cards. I don't know, you know how artists go through phases. Apparently I go through phases too, with different accents that I add to things. I don't know. It just is what speaks to me for these stickers. It really has been a creative challenge that I gave myself at the beginning of the year. Little did I know. We also had this scrap as well. Let me measure it for you real quick. It's 2 inches by 4 inches, and this one is going to go kind of offset on our card. Have our little sunshine sticker, and then we had this pink flamingo, and wouldn't you know that Catherine did not pack any pink cardstock, so this one was a little bit of a challenge, just figuring out how to fit this with what I had left in my stickers. And then also we had this pocket full of sunshine. So I pulled in our flamingo punch that we had from our recent promotion. And if you don't have it, it's okay. It just is going to add like a little bit of an extra shadowed element to our card. I punched it in gray, and I kind of figured it could be kind of like a baby flamingo. I don't know if y'all want this little bit of trivia, but I did grow up in Miami, and we always had flamingos at the Hialeah racetrack. Not that I spent a lot of time as a kid at the racetrack, but when flamingos are born, and we also had them at the zoo, the Metro Zoo. Oh my goodness, when flamingos are born, they are either white or gray. They don't actually turn pink until later when they start eating more of a certain algae and a lot of shrimp in their diet, and then that's what actually makes them turn pink. So there you go. Now you know a little bit more about flamingos. Who knew that I knew that much about flamingos, but apparently I did. And I did actually have to pull in a small piece of our poolside paradise collection. This was a 3/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch piece, and I took my corner rounder and just had at the corner so it was a little bit softer. I just needed a little bit of extra repeating of our waves and motion for our pool floaty flamingo to go on. All right, so you can see my little gray baby flamingo is up here, kind of almost like a little shadow flamingo, if you will, in the corner, because we're gonna have a lot of sunshine on here. It's, you know, we have 2 sunshine stickers left here. I'm gonna put a foam square under this one and get this one shining from our other coggy sunshine thing up here. Just putting that over the center dot. So it no longer looks like a cog, right? It looks more like the sunshine with the waves coming out from it. Now a little bit more of a duller or muted, and not duller, and then a little bit more of a muted fashion. How's about that? Finding the right word can be important. And then our pocket full of sunshine is going down towards this corner. I really kind of want it to cover this bottom corner of the paper here. So let's see if I can get this to work out for me. There we go. Right on the edge. It's going to fit in the envelope, whether it wants to or not, I guess. And then let's go ahead and put down our little bit of water here. It helps. The blue tone just worked with the pocket full of sunshine, and our little floaty is going to be chilling, but he needed a little bit of water to be in. Don't forget to pop out the pieces that need to come away from this sticker. There's another one up here. I can see it. There we go. So that way our flamingo can be just hanging out and chilling in the water here while the sunshine's shining on it. And I just kind of figured this kind of gives us a little bit of a repeat and the shadow. So there we go. How's about that for stretching my creativity today? Still turned out with a cute card. I hope you all enjoy this idea of something to do with your July Noteworthy Days stickers. We're also going to put together a 2-page layout, and guess what? We are going to bring in some of those scraps from the Sunburst layout that we had in the July virtual crop. I am going to be working on our bright white cardstock, and I brought in more navy cardstock and an extra piece of our polka dot navy paper that we used during the virtual crop. And then I have the crimson set aside, cranberry for another time. I am going to bring in my 0 centering ruler so we can get this piece of cardstock centered through this bright white cardstock to begin. This is a 6.5 inch by 12 inch piece of our navy cardstock. And again, like I said, we're going to center it so it should be at 3 1/4. Yep. Going through our card. Okay. Now, I did leave the top and bottom a little bit loose. I am going to bring in my multi-purpose tool because we are going to be putting some elements underneath as well. But first, this one is a 4x6 mat that's going to be coming in over here. I also have this piece that was a scrap from, I'm not sure if it was from the virtual crop or from another layout. It is 1 1/4 by 5.5. And we're going to place this on the left side of our layout. So we have some repeating dots. This one is another one that I just free-formed, came up with here. We're gonna go 1/4 of an inch in from the edge of our paper here. I'm gonna use my 0 centering ruler again to make sure I am even here. What did I say? 5.5, so that's 2 3/4. Yes, okay. And then, like I said, going 1/4 of an inch over. There we go. So that one's coming down. And then I also had just the skinniest scrap left of that more solid looking navy paper that we used on that layout. It's the one with the tan polka dots on the back. And I grabbed out my border maker system with the wispy chain cartridge. And I was able to get 2 of them out. I had to use the Post-it note trick to get them both punched. If you don't know the Post-it note trick, leave me a comment. I will make a short for you. I'm gonna have to find another shorter scrap, but man, I worked it out and was able to get 2 of them. Super happy about that. So you want this just a little bit asymmetrical. It's a little bit more to the left edge of our 1.25" dot paper here. Let's see. How's about a 1/2 inch in? Close to a 1/2 inch in. Just maybe right at just under a 1/2 inch. Going down our page here, I'm gonna bring this one in as well. Let me go ahead and grab some tape runner on this. And then we are going to grab those scraps that I cut off of our sunburst the other day. Starburst, sunburst was sketch number 2. Okay, I'm going a 1/2 inch in on this side as well. And getting it centered from the top and bottom as well. So we're right at the 3 on either side of the 0 here. So that's nice and centered. And here we go. I have these 2 pieces that are going to come in to the bottom here. And this is just, we're adding just these really cool decorative pieces to our page. It doesn't have to, we don't have to cut off the tops or anything since I'm tucking them under. Really doesn't matter. But I will say I am trying to have that straight edge coming down. So it's almost like a, kind of like a pillar, but not. And then it has, we have the angles coming in this way, but again, a little bit not perfectly symmetrical, but I think it works. Y'all are gonna really have to let me know what you think of this one. This is completely different than how I used the scraps for the other sunburst I did back, gosh, several years ago. Okay, I need to lift this side up because this one is a little bit longer. Let me put this in and under here, lift that a little bit. Okay, come on. Oh, I did a good job with that tape runner there. Okay, in we go. Because we want this straight part to line up at the top of the page. And so much for not being symmetrical, we are going to run this through close to the same point where the other one was. There we go. So like I said, it's almost like having a pillar run through our page. I didn't even actually look to see how far in that was. I think this ruler is maybe, what, 4 inches wide? I'm definitely not exactly perfectly straight, but no, that's a 1/2 inch. So that's 1.5 to 2.5 inches in from the edge of our page. Let's see where this one is. A 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2. So this one's about 2 inches in. Let's see if I get this one straight-ish, maybe. Coming in just a hair. Okay. Well, at least now I know what I'm doing here. So between 2 and 2.5. I think maybe I put that one in a little bit further because of the border and the extra element there as well. So that makes sense. At least it does to me. Hopefully it makes sense to y'all as well. So right about 2 inches here, I'm right about 2 inches there. Let's do this. Come on, get in there. This is not how I normally do this. But, you know, I said I always like to challenge my creativity and try new things. So, whew, there we go. We got it done. I guess maybe now I can, now that I know the measurement, I can place it. But at least I kind of I like that. That's, I don't know. I like it. It's cool. So we have our, on the lake, we have a little sunburst. I don't know, it's the greenish. And we also have a piece of watermelon. So, like I said, working with the stickers that we had left, we're gonna put our watermelon down here. Our boat is on the bottom. It does say on the lake on it, which I guess goes with all of our blues that are on this page here. And I'm going to pop up our little fun little bursting starburst, sunburst, starburst maybe? I don't know. Well, either way, it's going on the page here because we have some more of this green on the other side of the page. So when it comes together, y'all will see it's gonna work. It looks a little odd now, but just bear with me here. Okay, that is the left side of our page. I have the right side of our page here. And now that I know where these are gonna go roughly, I'm going to go ahead and just get them onto the page first so I don't have to lift up my navy cardstock again. I did flip my cardstock because, like I said, I did have a certain angle that I wanted to be on the edge. So let's go ahead and put our ruler at 2.5. I think that's right. Let's see. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2 3/4, 2.5. Oops. There we go. Okay. This one's coming in from the top, right at this top edge. And this one is on our bottom edge. And then we'll go 2 inches on this other side. 1, 1.5, 2. Okay, got that one a little bit better. Oh, you know what? That was supposed to be 2, not 2.5, wasn't it? All right, let me fix that. This side is the 2.5 because this is the side that is going to have the border on it. Hello. All right, so I need to fix that. I thought it was, that's okay. We all have a little bit of trial and error in our lives sometimes, right? So let me move this and now do this at 2 inches instead. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2. Okay, let's scoot this over this 1/2 inch. So that way that will be roughly the same spacing as it is on our other page. Okay, I feel better about that. I don't know about y'all, but I think that will work nicely. Let's go ahead and get some tape runner going on our 6.5 inch by 12 inch piece here. And so 3 1/4. There we go, 3 1/4 and 3 1/4. There's that. We are going to bring this 1/2 inch in again to get our 4x6 mat on our page. And then I do have another 1 1/4 by 5.5 piece. Again, another scrap that I found in my scrap bag for Noteworthy Days, or I have a Power Project folder that I'm keeping all of my bits and pieces in. So that way when something like this comes up and I need just a little extra accent, I can see if I already have a part of that paper, because I'm all about using up the scraps that I can use up. I hate having those piles of paper all over everywhere. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes it's hard to figure out what to do with those, and I'm hopeful that I'm giving you some good ideas here. Let's see, this needs to go up a little bit. 3, am I at 3 inches? Nope, I need to go down to 2 3/4. That's right. Okay. 1/4 of an inch in and 2 3/4 on either side of my 0 here. Let's get some tape runner on our wispy chain. This is our repositionable tape going on again, using my silicone mat so I don't get pieces everywhere of tape runner. You can also use a parchment board if you want. I do have videos where I had used one a lot before Creative Memories came out with this little border mat, and I love it. It's just such a great size to have on hand. It's small and compact. Okay, here we go. Trying to get my little wispy chain on kind of straight, but also kind of asymmetrical. Oops. So much for putting my multi-purpose tool away. Here we go. All right. Now we've got that down. We are going to go ahead and get our stickers onto this side of the page. We have a beach sticker. We had a mask. We have this rust-colored sunburst. We have a hot dog. Going down here near our watermelon because these people are on the beach having a picnic. And we have Hello July. We have another little sunburst, and we have a pair of glasses. So it just so happens our glasses have navy frames. Those are going up here. And our Hello July is going to get popped up as well. Let's see here. We'll use this middle-sized foam square. Or not middle, but I guess the second size, not the smallest one, but the next size up. Let's get those put down. I'm also going to pop up this little red sunburst because we popped up the sea green one, but you can see this is the same color. It definitely matches, and so this is going here. This little guy is going up on our July, where they already kind of have a little bit, but we're going to add this as a little bit extra if I can pick it up. Boy, I need my pickup tool, I think. Oh, I do actually have it here from doing that Minecraft card last week too. Here we go. So there's our little July with the extra little starburst on it. These people, like I said, they're having a picnic on the beach. But we're just going to angle this up just a little bit there at our mask. Because apparently somebody's doing some snorkeling somewhere. I guess, you know, maybe I think it would have just been a little bit too much for our card. So we're just going to angle this in through our same angle kind of as our scrap we have here that we put on. And now this last one is coming in. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was that far off the camera. But, you know, I'll show it to you closer anyways. Or as well, I guess. I'm going to bring in the other page. But first, let me show you this one closer. Get my tape runners out of the way. And so again, no sketch. It just wound up being 2 of our 4x6 mats from the dot paper and using up some of our other scraps, punching this wispy chain from the scrap that I took the cityscape border out of the other day. And here we go. What do y'all think of this one? Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit more. Oh, maybe I can. There we go. Didn't realize I was not quite as zoomed out as I was earlier, apparently. Okay, there you go. What do y'all think about the 2 pages together that I just winged it? using our scraps. Now, where would you put photos on this page? Obviously, we're going to have our vertical photos here. You can go horizontal here and here as well, or you could even do 2 horizontals through here. Same on this side. Vertical, you can go vertical. You can even bring 2 more vertical ones coming down. You can go horizontal here. You can cover up part of your border with a, with our 2 horizontal. You can do a horizontal and maybe a skinny vertical. You can cover up part of this. There's a lot of options. I always probably maybe have too many options, but I like options. I like the flexibility. I like being able to have the extra creativity. And I appreciate you all watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing me use up the last of our July sticker pack from the Noteworthy Days collection. That's it for today. I will see you next time.